To get the number of days you were out of stock for a particular SKU or SN, you can use the out of stock function. To use it, we first need to type in Gorilla _OOS. Let me remove this. And this is the function. So the first parameter is seller ID. So test seller, that's my seller ID. And then the period. I have already created a drop down here to make it dynamic, and this way I won't have to edit the formula every time I want to change the period. So fix that, and then comes the SKU, or you can also use SN. So I'm going to use SKUs, log that as well. So these were the required parameters. The other, such as marketplace, start date, end date, these are optional. The start date and end date are optional where you select a period. So in case you use custom, then you will have to type in a start and end date. Let me show you how this works. So let's just use the seller ID, the period, and the SKU, and this is what we get. So let me show you first that why I'm using the period as a drop down menu. So let's say I want to check the last 14 days. I can use this and it will auto refresh. So you see, this is why it is preferred to, instead of typing the period within the formula, you can just use a drop down menu this way. Okay, so now I'm going to try custom, and this is going to give me an error here. So it says start date is mandatory when period is custom. So here I have options that I can use the dates within the formula and hardcode those dates, or I can also use a cell reference. Let me just show you how it works. So since we are leaving the marketplace blank, we are not specifying any marketplace, I'm going to skip this one. Again, remember, you will need to use semicolons if you are in Europe. It depends on your locale settings. So for now, let's skip marketplace. So always remember to use the quotations whenever you are using a string. So here, since I am putting in a date as a string, I will need to use the quotations. So I could either do something like this, or I can just kind of automate this. So I'm going to select a blank cell, let's say E1, fix it, and then F1, fix that as well. So now almost all of this is automated. Let me show you what I mean. So I can just type in a date here. This would be the start date. So let's say 01, and here let's put 30. That would be the end date. So again, you can just go here and change it instead of going into the formula and breaking something or missing something out. So this way it works better. You can also just use for the marketplace, we could just use it, but I wanted to show you how you can leave the marketplace blank, but I can use a reference here as well. So I'm going to use A1. In case you want to check the OOS rate for a single SKU or an SN, you can do something like this. You can manually type it in, but here I will only get a single result because I haven't selected a range. Or you could also do something like this, but it is always recommended to use ranges instead of a single cell reference wherever possible.